Whoever is dishonest in very little is dishonest also in much. Well, we have before us this morning a curious parable in our gospel text. You know, it seems that in most of the parables of Jesus, we have a sense that there is a character who represents God. The character is often the master or the owner. And in our parable today, we have such a character who's known as the rich man. However, this rich man has a quality about him that I simply cannot apply to God. And I'm going to speak about that later in the sermon. We have a complicated parable in which Jesus, who is the narrator, see, he's telling the parable to his disciples. He is not the voice of the rich man. Jesus, speaking in his voice, speaks at the last part of our gospel text, beginning around verse 10. So let's start with the beginning of this parable. In the beginning, we have Jesus describing a rich man who had someone under him who was supposed to manage his property. The manager was supposed to see to it that the rich man's property produced good income for him. And from the story, it would seem that there were people who were probably living on the land and owed rent, goods, or services for being there. Wheat and olive oil are being mentioned as being owed. The issue at hand, though, is that it's possible and probably likely that this manager was not honest in accounting for the products of the land. Jesus says that charges were brought to the owner that the manager was squandering his property. And the owner has determined that the charges were true, and he prepares to fire the manager. And we shouldn't find that surprising. It would be a reasonable action to take. Now hold on to that, and let's move forward and speak about the manager. Well, we know he was charged with squandering the owner's property. Now notice, he doesn't deny this. Nor does he try to make a case for himself. He doesn't try to defend himself either. And not only that, I found it particularly interesting that he does not ask for mercy. And this was the first thing that made me question whether or not the rich man was a character representing God. You see, the manager doesn't ask for mercy because he assumed there would be no mercy given to him. He clearly thought that mercy was not a characteristic of this rich man. Now, let's see what he does next, the manager. He tries to save himself. To his credit, he admits that he's lazy and he doesn't want to work. And he's too proud to beg. So he goes to the debtors and he continues to squander the rich man's goods. He deceitfully works out special deals with the debtors in which he reduces what they rightfully owe the rich man. And he doesn't do this out of any fondness for these people or taking pity on them because they're debtors. No. He works out these deals in hopes that they will then return the favor, that he will then be able to have places to stay when he no longer has an income. And you see, even though he's losing his power over these people, he takes advantage of it right till the end. He takes advantage of whatever power he has in working out these arrangements. And all of this dishonesty continues at the expense of the rich man. And now we come to an even more curious aspect of the parable. It's clear to us that the manager has been and continues to be reprehensible. But what is the rich man's reaction? Oddly enough, he praises the manager. He congratulates him. This is where I decided that there was no way the rich man could be confused with God. Jesus tells us the rich man commended the dishonest manager because he acted shrewdly. There's nothing that can convince me that God will find dishonesty to be commendable or praiseworthy. And then comes the clincher. The rich man says, "For the children of this age are more shrewd in dealing with their own generation than the children of light. And I tell you, make friends for yourselves by means of dishonest wealth, so that when it's gone, they may welcome you into their eternal homes." The manager acted fear, he was lazy, he was driven by pride, and he tried to save himself. These are not traits that God commends. Now that said, let's turn to the final verses of our gospel text, where I find that it is Jesus speaking as himself, as Jesus, to the disciples. Here he's speaking about the ways of the children of light, and here he is speaking about faith. He says, whoever is faithful in a little is faithful also in much. And whoever is dishonest in a little is dishonest also in much. He's saying that the people who conform to this age, who are shrewd in the ways of the world, are like the manager. They're led by fear, and laziness, and pride, and they don't think in terms of ever needing mercy. They will use their devious and dishonest ways to try to save themselves. And once they choose to be on this path, they begin to be unfaithful in a little. They're dishonest in a little, and this will eventually lead them to being dishonest in much. And this will lead them then to committing and living by the actions which the prophet Amos cries out against in our Old Testament reading. Amos says, "Hear this, you who trample upon the needy, and bring the poor of the land to an end, saying, when will the new moon be over, that we may sell grain, and the Sabbath that we may offer wheat for sale, that we may make the ephah small and the shekel great, and deal deceitfully with false balances, that we may buy the poor for silver and the needy for a pair of sandals, and sell the refuse of the wheat. The Lord has sworn by the pride of Jacob, surely I will never forget any of their deeds." And that is to say that there will be justice. There will be an accounting. There will be a judgment day. You see, these are not the ways of the children of light. The children of light, to be sure, are not perfect. They're flawed. But the difference is that they have faith. They're not perfect, but Jesus says if they are faithful in just a little, a very little, they are faithful also in much. The children of light have faith, and they use the gifts that they have to the best of their abilities. And when they fall short, they don't turn to dishonesty to save themselves. They exhibit humility, and they turn to God for mercy, because they know God will give them mercy. They put their faith in God, who, as our psalm proclaims, God takes up the weak out of the dust and lifts up the poor from the ashes. The children of light are guided to live their lives with love and peace, not by using their power over others to get their way. And finally, they're guided through their prayers. The children of light follow the urgings of Paul in that letter to Timothy that we heard read today. Paul writes, first of all, this is the first thing he wants Timothy to know. First of all, I urge you that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for everyone. Now these are all four characteristics of prayers. Supplications, in supplications, we ask God to prevail for a specific person or event. Prayers in general can be about a wide array of topics. And then there's intercessions. Intercessions are petitions for others, and often are lengthy, and they can be numerous in their subjects and people. And of course, thanksgiving, well, it's what the name suggests, giving thanks for any and all of the gifts that we receive from God. Children of light are called to live lives of prayer, being in conversation with God, always considering God in their actions and in their thoughts. So I think you'll agree with me that the voice of the rich man in this parable, who commends a dishonest manager for his shrewdness and looking out for himself, cannot be confused with God. We know from the Apostle John that there's only one way to think about light, and therefore children of light. And that is through Jesus, who said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So let's not be lured by the ways of the world. Let's not be tricked into thinking that by being shrewd, we can live dishonest lives and outsmart others. We're not called to be shrewd. We are called to be children of light, who cannot save themselves. But by the grace of God, through our faith in Jesus, we have been saved. So let's live this way. Let this light shine forth in all that we do and say and think, so that others will then join us to the glory of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.